Hey everyone, welcome to another CG Boss. Haha, we're talking about the price. I said previously in the previous video, I enjoyed Nintendo for the fun and they're good games. But man, when you see the price, there's two prices, right? One is the game price, one is the console price, and I wondered sometimes like, did Nintendo just throw away all their good hype? I was pretty hyped for the Nintendo Switch, but man, there's a few things to get into to talk about. When I look at my comment section, it's not good, right? And there's comments online as well about both negative and confusion. I feel there's like two things happening about the price of the the Switch 2 console and the Switch 2 game price. So like already here, they said Nintendo is greedy. Nintendo is greedy. And then yeah, they make fun of consoles aimed for kids, $500 for $80. $80 games you cannot buy anymore. Yeah, there's a few things happening here. I actually was watching the Kid and Crystal podcast, and I think the Nintendo CEO came out talking about, I think Doug Bowser, Doug Bowser, this guy, he talked about there's gonna be variable pricing, right? Yeah, I don't know what that means. I do know that the games are gonna be costing $80. I think some people are shocked. $80, right? I mean, I was thinking at the US, I think it's 80 US dollars, right? So where I live, we have to buy the US version of the Switch. So those are already, when you convert to local currency, like in Southeast Asia, that's expensive. We pay close to, let me just check, $90? I don't know, price SGD, right? Yeah, it doesn't say, man. I'm just trying to look at, so we pay about 60 now. 60 to 70, depending on what game is it, right? Yeah, it may be cheaper, it may be expensive, but I think when the reason why they couldn't figure out, I feel that the tariffs are the ones that they probably Nintendo had
Are
a
all factors.
reaction to it, and I think that looking at all they're just thinking about pricing strategies and all that, but I'm not so sure. They're probably also trying to figure out how to deal with uh let's share this one. I've been trying to figure out this thing. Is it going to be very expensive? Not so expensive? Here where I live, when you buy from the Nintendo eShop, digital games are going to cost about $80, right? The $80 price tag of Mario Kart Mario Kart is going to be 80 bucks, but that means even though he said something about the variable pricing, I'm not so sure how does it apply. Does it apply to triple A indie game? I don't know, but where I live, I have to pay US dollars for eShop. For the physical, it can be cheaper depending if on where you live. If you live nearer to the factories, it may be cheaper. I'm trying to find Switch 2 games physical. It's going to be more expensive. Expensive. I'm just looking for it here. Uh, oh, I only got the Reddit thing here. Is it? Yeah, Insider Gaming. This is the one. Yeah. Donkey Kong is angry here, and he's angry that like physical games are gonna cost $90, right? Is it $90? Yeah, right. But I don't know, man. What's his name? Doug Bowser, right? He tried to explain this well. I really don't know. $90. So it's $80 digital. This one I know they never go down. For physical, it can go down depending if you can get secondhand or something. Yeah, it's worth mentioning. Let me check Nintendo website. Does it state there? I'm just trying to find. This one's off. Yeah, I'm trying to find. So I'm here at Mario Kart World, June 5th. Yeah, it's coming out. That's the strange, and I don't know. They should Nintendo of America and Japan. They should have. Oh, there's 79. Yeah, so it's $80, 80 US dollars, correct? They really have the time to figure out. I really don't know. They said they didn't put the pricing and tariff pricings into this. I really don't know whether they did. I really don't know if they ran the numbers. Yeah. Some people say that it's gonna be expensive anyway. To me, Nintendo has always been the cheaper, so-called cheaper option compared to Xbox Series X and PlayStation. So now, if I look at the next game console I want to buy as a consumer, and right now as a consumer I want to buy, I definitely want to get the Game Pass. For like how much does Game Pass cost now? I'm just trying to check here. Okay, $11 depending on where you live, right? Or 14. It may be cheaper to get Game Pass, but I really don't know. I feel that yeah, some of these things yeah, they really drop the ball on this one. I really don't know. There was a lot of hype for Nintendo because the portable gaming stuff was really cool. Yeah, I mean, there's also this comment here trying to share it that I don't know. Doug Bowser is a money guy, right? I don't know. Yeah, it probably is. I mean, these corporations are not they're not your friend, but they need to communicate better to the consumer. I don't know. According to the this podcast, they try to explain how Nintendo thinks about it, but I think the comments here also are not good. They are both, yeah, I think they're the best podcast because they both work at Nintendo. My take is that inflation, you know, my take here is that inflation is the one that is probably contributing to the variable pricing. They need to price it based on coming out of COVID, right? So they probably need to price it differently for each type of game, indie game. But of course, it's not very clear cut, and the answer about variable pricing is, I think, a very sanitized idea. But anyway, inflation is here, so I'm getting to this part. Inflation is here, and game production is not cheap. And depending on where Nintendo makes their games, I mean, using Nintendo, I can't talk about third party. You know, they're probably making in Japan. In Japan, it's still cheaper than US. I don't know if they have US what do you call it? Development house. Maybe for Metroid Prime is in US. I can't remember. But man, doesn't look good for them, and there's inflation, there's tariffs, there's, I don't know, all kinds of supply chain issues happening now. Yeah. Anyway, I think Nintendo, for goodwill, they should have done this one, the welcome tour, 9.99. Oh, okay. The cheapest Switch 2 game. They probably took a page out of Astrobot. I don't know. Yeah. Let me just find out. See if there is anything here. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, they talked about it here. 9.99. Yes, I mean it's cheap, but I feel that maybe for the launch they should just give it away free to get people hyped up about it, right? Because I gotta buy the console, buy the game, buy the whatever new camera thing if I want to play Mario Kart with friends, and like, man, I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah. Anyway, but there's a lot of confusion online. I'm just reading through comments. Even on this Kid and Crystal comments, right? I mean, they're pretty classy and respectful, which I like. Yeah, definitely. Variable pricing goes both way. If they stop charging HD remasters, yeah, there's a bunch of HD remasters like the Switch Zelda game. There's gonna be some remasters. I think, yeah, variable pricing sounds like a big mistake from a marketing standpoint. When people see the trailer, this one here, yeah, they have a look at the gameplay. They sound excited. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna just leave here that, yeah, they charge $60 for Luigi Mansion. Since its factors like longevity. Yeah, I don't know, man. So that's the only reasons I can think of. I mean, off my head. But it's just not, it doesn't feel good at this moment. We have to see how the pre-orders go for Nintendo. I am trying to figure out the eShop one is the one that I'm more worried about. For me, physical games, you can get it secondhand. maybe. Yeah, I do think that it's gonna be difficult for the new consumer, especially those in the US, to justify paying for the prices that they are getting now. So yeah, we have to wait and we have to see. I'm curious about this also. And then if Nintendo doesn't sell enough consoles, I'm not sure is it like worth to develop for it. I have no idea. We need to see how it goes. Yeah, really. All right, I think that's all I have. Anyway, you can watch the previous links on the what I thought about the Nintendo Switch, and don't forget to yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, and please subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed the content. It does help support me. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.